We are all here this week because we believe in Bitcoin. We believe that Bitcoin is a tool for empowering individuals to take control of one of the most important aspects of their life, their finances. That's why 9 years ago, I co-founded Satoshi Labs, a company that brought you Trezor, the first hardware wallet. Only a secure, standalone device can offer the best way to ensure that individuals' hard-earned liberatory funds remain theirs. And in those 9 years, or even more if you want to go back to the start of Bitcoin itself, we've seen remarkable progress in this industry. Together, we've built an industry from nothing to one with over 100 million users. And that's something to be proud of. Our message of freedom through finances is resonating. Yet, put another way, current users are only slightly over 1% of the human population. 100 million people use Bitcoin, but almost 8 billion don't. We all know that to fulfill the promise of Bitcoin as a revolutionary new money and to allow Bitcoin to restore independence to individuals, Bitcoin must be a worldwide system that is truly secure and accessible to all. And then requires dedicated effort and products aimed specifically at reaching out to new users. That's why we are here to talk about today. We are here to talk about how the next million and then the next billion people can understand and get started with Bitcoin safely. This is the mission of Swan Bitcoin, and it's also the mission of Invity, a Satoshi Labs company alongside Trezor. We started by thinking about what the main barriers to Bitcoin for the average Joe are. Despite what you hear in the news, it's not the technology. Some mainstream investors understand it, some don't. It really doesn't matter. Instead, we have found that new users continually worry about two main things: finding the perfect time to enter the market and keeping their Bitcoin safe. The integration we are here to announce solves both. Starting with Trezor wallets and the Trezor Suite platform as a basis, Invity has directly integrated Swan Bitcoin's platform to enable direct-to-custody recurring Bitcoin buys. Any user, regardless of their technical ability or familiarity with Bitcoin, can therefore set up automated Bitcoin purchases that fit their budget and their schedule and set it straight into a hardware wallet. But why recurring buys? For more on that, I'll hand it over to Stefan Livera, Managing Director of Swan Bitcoin International.
Thanks for that. And so at Swan, we are obviously very focused on creating millions more Bitcoiners. And as part of that, there's always this conversation, what's the best way to get started with Bitcoin? Of course, people think about should they lump sum or should they set up a regular savings plan, colloquially a DCA, dollar cost average. Now, some data that we can actually share from our users at Swan, those users who enabled and had a DCA plan or a savings plan enabled were more likely to be in a positive, be above their cost basis. So it's over 30 percentage points. So basically we're talking something in the range 70% were in positive, and compared to those who had only done lump sum purchases, that number is around 40%. And so of course, once you wait long enough, the cycles of Bitcoin, it tends to all work out. But it is an interesting statistic there that even though lump sum mathematically at the start might be best from a psychological point of view, if you want to be up, well, having your DCA plan on and regularly stacking is another way to remain in that positive above your cost basis. And so I've been speaking to customers as well, and some of them have been speaking about how easy it is with Swan and setting up. And one customer was telling me how his mum had set up with Swan, and she was stacking to her Trezor and hadn't even had to ask support from him or from her husband. So it's just an example of making DCA and stacking to your own hardware wallet more accessible is going to help grow this movement. So we're excited to partner with Trezor and Invity on this.